Austin Smith sitting in for me on Monday. Yours truly has returned to the Central Command Center, in my own words, on a Wednesday. Hottest show on the streets, hump day. Pumping you out nothing but non-stop Bama content. How we feeling on today? We're bringing you the show from the Magic City of Birmingham. We stream this to you through YouTube. And speaking of the channel, y'all know what time it is. Go ahead and right now hit that subscribe button. Tap that subscribe button. Get every friend, family member, diehard Bama fan, casual Bama fan, consumer of Tide football that you know to subscribe as well, because if you're feeling the content, they will also. Don't forget to share the show to everybody that you know. Put everybody you know right here on In My Own Words. Also, tap that like button. We want that thumbs up there from you, showing that support, trying to get the show 50 likes out the gate here to start it. Daily Super Chat go $100. Daily Super Chat go $100 right there. We appreciate that from you. We also be sure to tap that notification bell so you miss nothing when it comes down to your Crimson Tide football information. But we got a jam-packed show. Really good show tonight. Really good one. And we want to hear from you, the incredible fans of Bama football. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358. Number to call in to let your voice be made known on the show. Numbers on screen as well, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. But without further ado, we're jumping into topic number one of the conversation, and this one is highly entertaining. We have seen this offseason not just some national media pundits, but we're starting to see some former players in the Southeastern Conference come out and discuss. Don't count out Nick Saban. Don't sleep on Nick Saban. Don't doubt for a second that his door or window of winning national championships has completely closed. We have heard throughout the offseason that Georgia's the new team. They're the new standard. They're back-to-back college football playoff national champions. It's Kirby Smart's world. We're all just living in it. Kirby's going, look at me, I am the captain now. Like, the conversation shifted to Georgia, but you still have those that know you do not count Nick Saban out of any conversation. You do not count Nick Saban out of any situation in regards to college football. You don't count Nick Saban out of a chance to win a national championship. And a former player of his that came out big time and said this, Rohan Davey, former LSU quarterback, Sugar Bowl champion, Sugar Bowl MVP in 2004, if I'm not mistaken. A guy that's in the LSU Hall of Fame, a native Jamaican, Rohan Davey, somebody that was a very good quarterback during his time at LSU, played for one Coach Saban. Rohan Davey, and talking to a news outlet in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, said Coach Saban, he is highly ticked off. He is highly motivated. Rohan Davey talked about it. Don't be shocked if this becomes Nick Saban's best coaching job in his career. Davey talked about it. The one thing he knows about Nick Saban, and he referred to Nick Saban as the little man. This is the second person that's referred to Nick Saban as the little man. The first one was Najee Harris. But Rohan Davey talked about it. If I know anything about that little man, I know he's a master motivator, and he's probably a master manipulator as well. He said Coach Saban will have these guys ready. He will have these guys prepared. He will have these guys set to go. The one thing that Davey said that stood out, he said, look, I'm going to tell you this right now. Saban does not like it when his program is not in the spotlight. Saban does not like it when his program is not talked about constantly. He don't like that. He don't feel that one bit. College football saying, hey, Kirby Smart's taking over. It's Kirby Smart's time. It's Georgia's time. They're the new team. They're the new it factor. They're the new standard. The sun of college football rises and sets on Georgia. So that's become the conversation. But here's Rohan Davey, who played for Coach Saban at LSU, saying, nah, man, Saban don't like that conversation. Saban don't like it when his program, the University of Alabama, his program, the Crimson Tide, is not talked about with that type of respect. You don't like that one bit. And when you look at Alabama this summer, there's been so many questions about, well, you know, Saban can't do it no more. He can't win no more. But defense isn't as ferocious anymore. Nobody's afraid of Bama no more. They don't know what the quarterback situation is. Bama's just so many questions, right? There's so much doubt when it comes to, Alabama football. And we've seen the story written before. There was doubt in 2011, especially where the tornado was concerned and losing 6-9 to LSU was concerned. You go on to win a national championship. There was doubt where 2015 was concerned. You lose to Ole Miss. Articles come out, the dynasty's dead, over, put a fork in it. Bama goes on, wins a national championship. 2017, the loss to Auburn in the Iron Bowl. So many, Bama's not going to make the playoff. Bama's not going to get in. It's over. The moment Bama gets in, the players are saying, we're going to take it all. They do. So we have seen this narrative before. When it comes down to Alabama football and Coach Nick Saban. But according to Davey, he talks about it. Saban's going to use all of this doubt, all of this negativity to fuel toward a national championship, because that's what he's about. He's about taking the naysay and fueling it towards a national championship. He's done this before. Davey mentioned, do not be shocked if this is Saban's best coaching job. And when we all look at Nick Saban's best coaching jobs, we look at what he did in 2011, right? What he did in 2015. What he did in 2017. My goodness, what he did in 2020. And one of those games, Saban didn't even coach because he had COVID, that being the Iron Bowl. But we always look at those years as his best coaching job. I look at this upcoming season. I'm at the Rohan Davey. I look at this upcoming season. Saban, with all the doubt, with all the naysay, with all the push of it's over, he can't do it no more. Look at Georgia. LSU beat him last year. Brian Kelly's only getting better. Tennessee beat him last year. Look at what Tennessee's got coming back. All of the naysay here. Saban using this pure, unadulterated fuel. Lane Kiffin refers to it as GOAT fuel. It's going to be interesting to see how this all kind of plays out here, because when you have a former player that's played under the tactician, the disciplinarian, that is Nick Saban and Rohan Davey, even at LSU, Rohan Davey saw how Nick Saban operated firsthand. When you look at conference championships, when you look at winning the championship, when you look at winning big games, you look at all of these different scenarios, Rohan Davey saw it firsthand. So now here's a guy that's played under Coach Saban. He's telling everybody, hold on now. I see what Kirby Smart's doing. I see what Georgia's doing. But Nick Saban, that's the master motivator. Nick Saban, that's the guy that doesn't take anything sitting down. Nick Saban, that's the guy that's going to use everything being thrown at him as fuel to come at and come after a national championship. This season is about to be really fun here, especially after the content that Rohan Davey has brought to everybody today. But we go to our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting started. Upon our return, we go to the phone lines. We get your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. We want to hear from you. Is Saban ticked off for a national championship? Do you have any agreement to what was said by his former quarterback at LSU, Rohan Davey? Line us up. We want to hear from you after this.
Nine players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they've put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, folks, we're back, locking and loaded right here with you on a Wednesday, hump day, hottest show on the streets. We're bringing you the Bama football news in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Happy to have you all in here. Got my man Eli Walker in the production studio. Continue hitting that subscribe button, tapping that like button, give us that thumbs up right there on the show. Show us the love right there. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 daily. Super Chat Go, $100. We appreciate that. We have a message board. So for those of you trying to be in that first wave, first group of fans to help us rebuild, regrow the message board, the link to that can be found in the chat line and in the description as well. So check that out right there, the message board. But we go to the phone lines to grab your calls. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Yo, Steve, it's the boy T-Rich, out here in Lufkin, Texas, by way of Mississippi, Roll Tide.
What's happening, man?
Oh, man, nothing. I do think Coach Saban is pissed off, but it's going to be in a different way. I think with the collaboration of Kevin Steele and when Jeremy Pruitt gets to campus, we're going to see that old Bama defense. I do think it kind of hurt us losing Jaleel Burrows, but, we got players that we've recruited. It's time for them to step up. Hey, next man up next time, the Bama standard. We got to get back to that. Also, I see the rumors about Tommy Reese. I know this is going to be in the next little, segment here in a second. But who do you think about our next coordinator if Tommy Reese was to go to which I think is a crappy job because of the allegation and everything you got going on. You have to go through the whole new coaches hires. So, I mean, if he did that, that'll kind of be if you move on him. Granted, he's a good offensive-minded coach. I think he's going to be, if he stays, he's going to be a key ingredient to Bama getting back to that Bama standard, meaning us literally looking like our little brothers, but they didn't won the last two, which is Georgia. Yes, I call Georgia the little brother because Alabama has done it repeatedly. And lastly, before I let you go, what do you think about not only Trezmen Marshall but Justin Jefferson, both starting at those inside linebacker spots? People hadn't been talking about it. But I think that might be good. We have both of them be veterans. Both of them are prototype side-to-side linebacker speed, and both of them can thump. And I feel like both of those two guys literally are alpha male. Justin Jefferson showed it in the spring, and Trezmen Marshall, hey, you played at Georgia, which is, like I said, little brother school, basically the same thing. Hey, I know he got the alpha dog mentality too. Nothing against Deontay Lawson or, Jahad Campbell, all those guys we got coming up. But Trezmen Marshall, Justin Jefferson, hey, side by side, I think they can piggyback and feed off each other very well. But from having that, I see that Reuben Foster, Sean Deion Hamilton kind of thing with them. Roll Tide Rose, and you can't wait to see him, hit the field.
Appreciate T.
And I listen.
Appreciate T. Rich there calling from Texas. I can see the Tresman Marshall, Justin Jefferson thing. I can see that. Tresman Marshall coming from Georgia. He's been a part of 2 national championships, so he sees the work ethic, the toughness, the physicality it takes. At 6'1", over 230, Tresman Marshall is a bit more of a thumper. He's a thumping type guy, can call the defense, see it, attack it. Justin Jefferson is kind of a see ball, get ball guy. We saw that in the A-Day game. Hit the gap, make plays, get tackles, shoot your way in the backfield. So I could see a situation where it could be Tresman Marshall and Justin Jefferson. But for me, it comes down to the big question for Coach Saban and Kevin Steele and Robert Bama, who's the inside linebackers coach. Which guy do you feel the most comfortable calling that defense? Because whoever you feel the most comfortable with, that's the guy who's going to run it. And then the opposite guy is going to be your off-ball, see-ball, get-ball type of dude. So whoever you feel the most comfortable with running that defense, which we'll get more into that as fall camp dives in. But appreciate T. Rich there calling from Texas. We take this call here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Steve, what's going on, man? It's G from Raleigh.
G, what's happening, brother?
Not much. How you doing, man?
Man, I can't complain, man. Doing good. Man, we got media days next week. We're a couple more weeks away from August to start a fall camp. Let's get this thing popping.
Okay. So you saying the Saban tipped off. I'm going to say this. We going to know a Saban tipped off, and you know what I'm going to say, bro, by who he play. If he go down that list and play the best players, we going to know he's fed up. We going to know he's kind of stepping away from what he's been doing the past 2-3 years, and he's going to put the talent out there. Now, I want to say this to kind of piggyback off what the last caller said. Now, I haven't heard nobody say this neither. I think our strong point in the defense is our middle linebackers. I'm going to tell you why. Because of the numbers. You got Marshall, good. You got Lawson, good. You got Jahai Campbell, good. You got Justin Jefferson, good. So what I would say, and I know it's a long shot because we are 34 base team, but if we was crazy enough and wild enough to let Pete Golding put that bullshit rabbit package out there last year, I think it would be in our best interest for real, to try to get 3 linebackers on the field. You can still do it from what the formations we do it now, but I think we're shorthanded this team if we don't have 3 of our top 5 middles out there. Just think, Steve, if we had a package to where Lawson was on the edge, or what's his name, Campbell was on the edge, the way we use Rashard Evans. Ooh. And then you have a Tresman Marshall. You have a Tresman Marshall in the middle of a Justin Jefferson. I think if we could find a package to get 3 out of our top 5 middles on that field at the same time, I think we beat the pitch shot of everybody. But like I said, I think Saban is tipped off. But like I said, it's gonna come down to who he play. Who you got going for the defense this year, Steve?
Who I got going for the defense this year?
Breakout player.
Breakout player for the good question. Breakout player for the defense this year. I got Downs, man. I got Caleb Downs.
You got Caleb Downs?
I got Caleb Downs.
Okay. I kind of agree with that. I would say breakout. I don't know if it's really a breakout, but I would say breakout may be Kool-Aid. I have a strong reason Kool-Aid. It just seemed like in the Bama system, every third-year DB becomes a certified top 15 drafted. It's just a system that we run here. But I'm going to say this, I'm going to go. As long as Bama can get back to production-based playing time ball, I think we'd be just fine. And I'm going to give you an example of what I mean. Jordan Battle had a more productive year as a junior compared to his senior year. And I think the fall off has everything to do with no threat to playing. The same thing goes for DeMarco Hellams. He had a down year from his junior year to his senior year because I feel no threat to playing. And I'll give you the last example, Dallas Turner. I think Dallas had a down year last year due to no threat of not playing. Dallas had a crazy freshman year. Why? Because he had to share the field with another animal, Drew Sanders. So I want to see Saban get down to preparation, production. I'm going to say production-based playing. And if we get back to that and everybody got to earn it football again, it's a natty. Thank you, Steve.
Appreciate G from Raleigh calling in. Strong points from him. Production football, quality football, but getting back to, hey, if you ain't doing it, somebody else is nipping on your heels that can do it and that will do it out there on the field. So I definitely agree with that. I like his sentiment there, Eli, having 3 inside linebackers on the field. Lawson, Tresman Marshall, maybe Jahad Campbell. I would like Sean Murphy out there too. Sean Murphy's got some speed. He's got some real deal speed there. But like I said, once fall camp gets in here, then we'll start to notice, what Alabama's got and how can it be used and how should it be used on the field. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Steven, it's hump day, man. What's happening? I'm back. I'm back in black. What's going on, man?
The President Wagon is here, brother. We're doing good. We cannot complain here, man. We got media days next week, so Saban taking his 3 players, J.C. Latham, Kool-Aid McKinstry, and Dallas Turner to Nashville for the media days. And a couple of weeks later, man, we got fall camp. August will be here.
Yeah, I think Friday will be 50 days to kick off, so we got 50 days. So, touching on this Tommy Reese thing, I think it's hilarious. He got his name thrown into the mix. Coach O's name was thrown into that mix.
Hold on, really?
Yeah. I talked to a few people today, and I read an article too that Coach O's name has been thrown into that mix at Northwestern too. That might be a good place for Ed. He might do all right up there. But if we was to lose Tommy Reese this deep into the season, I say season, into the year, we're fixing to start practice and, fixing to start football here Friday in 50 days. Wouldn't you have to look to your staff to replace him? Would it? Isn't Derek Duty the senior offensive assistant on
he
the?
Is.
On the
he is. You would probably have to look at Derek Dooley. You'll probably have to look at maybe Zach Mettenberger as an analyst to have him call it. Or if you want to take an on-field coach and do it, Joe Cox, the tight ends coach, played quarterback at Georgia. He was the backup to Matthew Stafford. And Nick Saban did say that Joe Cox, the brightest young mind he's ever been around. So if something were to happen to Tommy Reese, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Tommy Reese sticks around. But just as a hypothetical, if something crazy was to pop off, you would have to look at Derek Dooley, Zach Mettenberger as far as an analyst goes, or for an on-field coach, you would have to turn your attention to Joe Cox and say, hey, Coach Cox, can you do this?
Yeah, Cox could do that too. Derek Dooley could also do it. We got SEC media days next week, and, we've got a lot of this Atlanta Journal-Constitution brought out a lot of, I'm not going to get into it deep, a lot of stuff of 82 violations at the University of Georgia from 2016 to 2023. University of Georgia, I'll say this and get off here, University of Georgia at one time was once held up high for their academics. They were held up there with Yale, Stanford, Auburn. Auburn's a big degree. Auburn degree goes a long way. I know a lot of people graduated down there. But they were held up to a standard, in their football program and their academics also. And when you get stuff comes out in a paper like this, you think they got this off the street from some Joe, that has to come internally from somebody that's very upset, Stephen, that Georgia was once, held once again as a high academic school, plus their football program. But I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see who's up there and who puts the questions out and see how he answers it. But, Georgia's the standard. No, they've turned into the state penitentiary. Is what they've turned into. Oh, my word. I love everybody on here on TDA. Y'all looking good. I'm glad to be back. The voice is good. I might sing next week. I don't know. I love all y'all. Y'all be safe. I'll catch y'all back next week sometime. Stay out of this heat. Stay cool. I love all y'all. I'll catch y'all again. Bye-bye, everyone.
Appreciate the president weighing in, checking in here with us on a Wednesday hump day. Hottest show on the streets. We're talking Bama football news. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
And this is Dave from Florence.
Hey, what's going on, man?
See, this ain't like we got to go. Hey, we don't care what or whoever else got to say about nothing that Nick got going. I don't care if it's positive, good, nothing. You ain't with the tide. You graduated from LSU. I don't care if it was with Nick, coach at LSU. You still an LSU boy. I don't care nothing you got to say. Every year we go into SEC media days, we always get hit with some kind of rat horse. Man, the only rat horse that we need to be looking up is why on 3rd and 5, on a game-winning drive, your defense got one defensive lineman out there. Huh, Steve, against LSU? Ain't that what happened last year twice on the same drive?
Yeah.
One defensive lineman out there. See, these are the things that we getting away from with all this. Ron said, no, man, no. We need to talk about real football and the real reason why we lost these football games last year and how we going to get them corrected. That's all we need to know, Steve.
Well, absolutely.
Like that,
how you going to get these things correct is you got the coaches out there making sure that they putting down the correct coach, but most importantly, you putting the right players on the field that know what they're supposed to do.
Thank you, Steve. I mean, come on, man. We lost a bunch of games in these last few years off of just strictly coaching. Like, I wish it was possible for the players to sue the coaches because a bunch of our guys that missed out on a bunch of money because of the Steve, I was about to use a bad word. Steve. I swear I was. Excuse me.
Jay, this is a safe space, Jay. Jay, this is not the FCC, man. You're in a safe space.
Man, I'm just trying to come correct because it seems like every year around this time we kind of get away from real football and get to talking about all kinds of other things. A couple years ago, it was Jimbo and Ken Saban doing all that. Listen, man, NIL, all that. Man, all that is bull crap, man. We need to focus on the 11 that's on the field on defense, the 11 that's on the field on offense, man. I don't know, man. I just hope the scheme is more simpler this year and way more aggressive. If we got to run the same inside trap 5 times because they keep picking up 6 yards, if we got to run it 5 times in a row, Steve, guess what? Run it 5 times in a row because they can't stop it. But I don't know, man. Roll Tide, I love y'all, man.
Appreciate Jay from Florence calling in, giving us his thoughts as he always does on the show as we're inching closer and closer here to SEC Media Days, which will be in Nashville. Ian, you and I will be there. We'll have a lot of fresh content for you guys. We'll take this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, man, it's Jay Sports Cars calling from Fort Payne.
What's happening with you?
I wanted to know, do you think Caleb Downs will start opposite of Malachi Moore?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. So it depends on, to me, that nickel spot in the secondary, that defense, that slot corner. If Earl Little takes that, which I feel like he would, one of your safeties could end up being Caleb Downs. The other safety could be Malachi Moore. But if you wanted to play somebody else that safety spot, Malachi Moore could shift down that dime role, that dime safety, that dime linebacker role, that sixth DB when you go on the dime. But I think to me, it all comes down to Earl Little and that nickel spot. If Earl Little just locks that completely up, which I feel like he will, it'll be interesting to see where Malachi goes. If Earl does not lock up that nickel spot, then you could see Malachi and nickel, Caleb Downs still a safety. Both of those two will be on the field at the same time. But it starts off with, can Earl Little can he knock up that slot corner spot?
Thanks, Roll Tide.
Appreciate that call right there. I mean, the secondary, you got so much athletic depth. That's why I'm saying that nickel corner role. I have full confidence in Earl Little that he's going to take that. No doubt about that. And if Earl takes that, you can have Malachi and Caleb Downs as both of your safeties. If you feel Malachi is more beneficial in dime, you could have Caleb Downs, maybe Christian Story as your two safeties. Or Caleb Downs and Jake Pope. I mean, there's a lot of love for Jake Pope out there as your two. I mean, it's going to be fun to see how Saban, Kevin Steele, Travaris Robinson, how they all play this. There's a lot of athletic depth in the secondary. It's like you know who your two corners are. That's Kool-Aid and Terrion. Your star, I'm penciling in Earl Little. But your two safeties, that's your question. Who gives you the best option to be successful, elite, in both safety spots? Gotta show some love to Don Parker with that $5 donation, the Super Chats. Dropping the love in. Appreciate that from Don Parker. And then Dale B drops in a $20 donation, showing love as well. Don Parker, Dale B helping us out on the show. Daily Super Chat go $100. Daily Super Chat go $100. We appreciate you guys. Awesome call topic. Our own director for scouting and recruiting, Justin Smith of TDA. Justin told y'all, the month of July, recruiting would catch fire in the 2024 class. It's caught fire. The latest name came in today. 4-star offensive lineman Casey Poe, giving his verbal commitment to the Crimson Tide. 14 verbal commitments for the 2024 class. It's growing, folks. Growing. The month of July, we've seen several names come in here, whether it's Jameer Grimsley, whether it's Xavier Brown, whether it's Justin Okonrokwo from Germany. I think I got his name right. Okonrokwo. How about that? Great pronunciation there, Steven. You got Justin here from Germany. And now you pick up Casey Poe, 4-star offensive lineman, 2024 class. Growing. Saban handling that business right there. We take a break here, folks, on the show. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we get into the crazy conversation of Northwestern fired Pat Fitzgerald. Reports are saying Tommy Reese, Alabama offensive coordinator, is emerging as a candidate for the Northwestern job. Does he take it? Let's talk about this rumors and whatnot after this.
What's up, Bama Nation? This is Rudy Griffin, former Alabama defensive lineman, and you're listening to my guy, Stephen M. Smith, in my own words, brought to you by Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Roll Tide, roll!
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people, we're rocking and rolling here with you to the action from the break. #1 show for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA on a Wednesday hump day. You guys continue hitting that subscribe button. Tap subscribe right now. Share the show to everybody that you know, every friend, family member, diehard Bama fan, casual Bama fan, consumer of Tide football. We appreciate that. Tap that like button as well. Hit that thumbs up. Make this your show, your spot, your network, space to talk all things Bama football. You're trying to be in that first wave, first group of fans to help us rebuild, regrow the message board. The link to the message board can be found in the description and in the chat. Check out the message board right there. But getting to topic number 2, eating out of the conversation, that being the wild news that took place. Northwestern a couple of days ago decided to part ways from Pat Fitzgerald. Pat Fitzgerald, of whom played at Northwestern, attended the program, played at the program, worked his way up on the coaching staff to be a head coach of the program, coached at Northwestern from 2006 to 2022. That's 16 years. He took Northwestern and made it a respectable program in the Big Ten. And with the hazing scandal that went horribly wrong, Northwestern decided to part ways from Coach Fitzgerald. So the question becomes, who replaces the guy, right? Every time a coach gets fired, the rumor mill starts, and you throw 9 to 10 names in a pot, and you stir it up, and you wonder, okay, which one of these guys is best suited for this particular head coaching vacancy? It's done all the time. And for us as Alabama consumers, and you guys as Crimson Tide football fans, every time a coach on Nick Saban's staff gets uttered in a rumor about going somewhere else, it's like, are you kidding me? The guy just got here. Leave our coaches alone. The guy just came here for a cup of coffee. Let the man sign the contract first. Man, it's your own coach. That's what you, as fans, say. And you have every right to think that way, feel that way, especially when Coach Saban is trying all he can to keep good coaches on staff with all the turnover and whatnot. This is the reason why Tommy Rees got hired back in February. There were so many hot names out there. You had Garrett Riley out there, though he went to Clemson. You had Jeff Lebby out there. You had so many hot names out there, if you will. Tommy Rees got the job back in February. And Coach Saban and the University of Alabama Board of Trustees trying to make sure they keep coaches staying put. Tommy Rees signs a 3-year deal that starts off at $1.9 million and will increase to $2.1 million. Trying to keep the guy in pocket, right? Signed a 3-year deal to be the OC for the Crimson Tide. But does he remain? Does he stay at Alabama? Because according to, reports from ESPN's Adam Rittenberg and also Bruce Feldman of The Athletic and Fox Sports, the reports were, Tommy Rees has emerged as one of those potential candidates for the Northwestern job. Bruce Feldman in particular had Reese as one of his 9 names to possibly fill in that coaching void there. I don't think Reese takes the job. I just don't see it. I mean, Tommy comes from Notre Dame where he didn't have a whole bunch of talent. Now you go to Alabama where you have all the talent pretty much, and you got a chance to win multiple national championships, at least one, but multiple national championships as an Alabama offensive coordinator. I mean, you'll take that every day of the week. You'll take that chance. I mean, you'll play that dice game every day of the week. So, I mean, to me, when you look at, you get a chance to work with an offensive line that's going to be a whole lot better than what it was last year. You get a chance to work with big play wide receivers, big play tight ends, big play running backs. Quarterback thing will solve itself. I mean, if I'm Tommy Rees, I would not up and leave the situation that you're in right now here at Alabama. That's just me. But Alabama fans, we have seen this happen before. We all remember Austin Armstrong. I'm trying not to cry here. But Austin Armstrong, who got hired back on February the 13th. Yep. Austin Armstrong, the defensive whiz kid who was the inside linebackers coach in D.C. at Southern Miss, did some great things with that program. But he sat underneath Kirby Smart and Dan Lanning and Will Muschamp for a year at Georgia. And he sat under, Billy Napier at Louisiana Lafayette. I mean, sat up under some good coaching, very good coaching. And Bama hired him February 13th of this year to be the inside linebackers coach. We were all pumped up, even I myself, pumped up. He stayed 8 days, cup of coffee, 8 days, and got poached away to the University of Florida to be the defensive coordinator. We've seen this before with Austin Armstrong. Thankfully, with Austin Armstrong, this happened back, before spring ball started, right? You really don't want this happening to Tommy Rees, especially where you're near 50 days away from the start of the college football season. So, I don't think Tommy Rees takes it. I doubt it. I think he's in a very good spot, in a very good situation, Tuscaloosa. You got a chance to really, hone your skills with 4- and 5-star athletes. I mean, you're 30 years old. You're making $1.9 million. I'm 30 years old. I ain't making that. So, Tommy Rees, I don't think he exits stage left. Hopefully he doesn't. But that's just the rumors going on right now from reports out there that, with Northwestern parting ways from Pat Fitzgerald, Tommy Rees is in that rumor mill as a guy that potentially could get the Northwestern job, but I kind of see him more so sticking around in Alabama, crossing my fingers that he does. But we take this break here, folks. We'll touch that down. When we get back, we go to the phone lines. We get your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. Definitely want to hear from you, the Tide Nation, after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
This is Chris Rogers, 2009 national champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, folks, we're back in here cooking it on a Wednesday, hump day, hottest show on the streets. We're talking your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Happy to have you guys in here. Loving the conversation. Dialogue from everybody. Continue hitting that like button. Give us that thumbs up. Tapping the like button. We appreciate that. Hitting that subscribe button as well. Making this your show, your network, platform, channel, space, area, outlet. Talking all things Bama football. At Daily Super Chat Go, $100 Daily Super Chat Go. And how about John Simpson with that $1.99, dropping the love in the bucket there. Appreciate that from John Simpson helping us out on the show. Go to the phone lines right now. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. The number to call in to let your voice be made known, 205-448-1358. One more time, 205-448-1358. As you guys are getting your thoughts prepared and thoughts ready to call in and be a part of the show. I mean, we got to call in right now. We go live. We go to the phone lines now. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, how you doing today, Stephen? Thanks for taking my call. This is Rambo calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
What's going on?
All right. I feel real confident about the team this year. I do. I feel real confident about the defense. I feel like the offense is just gonna be more open. I feel like they be running the same plays. But besides what you was talking about, I feel like with the defensive line, I feel like everything is still going to be on these trenches. The game is won in the trenches, and that is where we're getting beat down at. Everybody calling about give Freddie Roach a chance, and it's Pete Golden's fault. We understand Pete Golden run a different defensive system, but it doesn't matter who you are coaching. If that player has the talent, he has the it factor, he is him. It doesn't matter what system you put a player in. If a player has talent, you're going to notice talent. If the player plays at Georgia Southern, you're going to know if he's good or not. It don't matter who's coaching the kid. So I'm just tired of the excuses of this Freddie Roach thing and the system and this, that, and the third, because it's just like you throw a party right now, Stephen A., and the party is at your house. I bake the cake, you bake the brownies. The outcome of how the cake tastes is on me. It doesn't matter when the cake shows up. It doesn't matter when everybody eats a piece of cake. It matters about how the cake tastes. And if I'm the one who made the bad cake, no one is going to talk about the cake being at your house. Nobody's going to talk about who threw the party. They're going to say how bad the cake was. So with that right there, I just feel like everybody needs to just chill out. And this year right here, this is the proven year for Freddie Roach. Everything else, it was just, I feel like bad coaching, and I also feel like the talent went up to level, and the dog wasn't in these players. This was the first year where I didn't see a player from the defense pop. Usually Alabama always has that one player every single year that blows up, and he takes it by storm. Malachi Moore did it his freshman year. Patrick Surtain did it. Now I'm like, okay, if all these kids can do it, why can't the next player do it? But that's all I really have on that. And thanks for taking my call.
Appreciate Rambo calling in there from Atlanta. Going to be a very interesting season, a very interesting fall camp here for the Crimson Tide. The talent's there. The talent's there. The pieces are there. You have the coaches in here now. It's time to get this done. Time to put it all together and get this done. Cool call topic. We go to a former Alabama offensive lineman, Alphonse Taylor, two-time national champion, 2012 and 2015. Taylor has landed a high school coaching job. So Taylor is with Alma Bryant High School. Alma Bryant High School is in Irvington, Alabama, which is in that South Alabama, Mobile area, near Mobile, near Theodore, all that right there. Alma Bryant High School. Kudos to Alphonse Taylor getting this high school coaching position. I know that he's going to do some great things. He's going to do a tremendous job. Once again, a two-time national champion for your Crimson Tide. But we're taking our final break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we wrap things up with Bama has its representatives for SEC Media Days. Who are those guys? Are they ready to talk to the national media? What type of gems could we hear from them? We'll wrap things up with that after this.
I'm Malachi Moore. You're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
Well, folks, definitely enjoyed each and every last one of you today checking into the show. In my own words, on a Wednesday, hump day, hottest show on the streets. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. My man Eli Walker in the production studio. You guys continue to hit that like button, baby. Tap that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Make this your show, your spot, your network, platform, channel, space to talk all things Bama football. We love that. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 daily. Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate that as well. But Eli, you and I, next week will be in Nashville, Tennessee for SEC Football Media Days. Crimson Tide will speak on Wednesday. Nick Saban will take the podium on Wednesday. We've already kind of had a conversation about the sort of questions he may get. We talked about, he'll be asked quite a bit about the quarterbacks. He'll be asked about the coaching staff, primarily his two coordinators. He'll get some NIL questions peppered in there. Saban's going to have a lot of questions that he'll have to address there in front of the talking media. But he does have the 3 student athletes, the 3 representatives that will go with him. And Eli, you and I hit this dead on the head, man. Well, actually, Eli, you hit this dead on the head. I had Malachi Moore. You had Kool-Aid as your third guy. So, Eli, if you were working in Vegas, you would have made folks rich. So you actually hit this. So, Eli and I were having the conversation, and I asked him, I said, so, Eli, name the 3 players you felt like will represent Alabama with Coach Saban at Media Days. Eli said J.C. Latham, Dallas Turner, and Kool-Aid McKinstry. And by God, put the gumbo in the pot. It's those 3. J.C. Latham, Kool-Aid McKinstry, and Dallas Turner will represent the Crimson Tide at SEC Media Days. And you couldn't go wrong with any of these 3. You really couldn't. All 3 of these guys, leadership, strong players, good personalities, good athletes, good guys in the locker room. They put in the work. J.C. Latham, a guy that joined the 1,000-pound squat club, according to David Ballou, director of sports performance for Alabama. J.C. Latham also benching over 500 pounds at 505. So he's looking to just throw defensive linemen to the crowd. I mean, that's what J.C.'s trying to do. There you go. Getting his junior year, trying to be a first-round top 10 draft pick for 2024. Kool-Aid McKinstry, last year, 15 pass breakups, did a lot of great things. He's trying to be a top 5 draft pick in 2024 from that cornerback spot, 6'1", 195 pounds, looking to be a shutdown guy in the upcoming season. And then you got Dallas Turner at 6'4", 242 pounds, an electric freshman year. Sophomore year took a step back, but I think his junior year is going to be big because I think he's going to have help, which is going to allow his junior year to be big, even more. That help he's going to have out there. So I think all 3 guys, leadership guys, good character guys, great guys in the locker room. They do work on the field. They do work in the weight room. They want to compete. They want to win. They want to win championships. The question for us, Eli, will be, which one of these 3 will give us the best gems in terms of quotes? Who gives us the best quotes? Will it be Latham, Kool-Aid, Turner? Which one, Eli, when we leave Nashville on Wednesday, that we go, man, we got some good quotes from this guy. We got some great content out of this dude right here. Like, which one gives us the best quotes? How many good quotes will Coach Saban give, for that matter? That's going to be a fun media days, Eli. I may have shades on. I don't know what you're going to do. I may have shades on walking up in there. It's going to be a very good SEC media days. But as always, people, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage here on your favorite program, that being the Alabama Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store, the rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone for your audio needs. Check us out. iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. The good and gracious Lord sees fit. I'll try to be back on Friday, continuing the conversation that is Bama football. Remember, Tide fans, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama magazine. Have those sent to your door. That link found in the description. If you're trying to get your hands on the fresh edition of TDA the magazine, here's what you do. You go to touchdownalabama.com. You click join. Become a member and or a subscriber today. That link found in the description as well. Guys, show some love to you, the fans of Bama football. Appreciate all the calls, all the chats, all the donations, all the love you're showing us right here on the network. We appreciate you guys. Guys, shout out my man Elon Walker in the production studio holding it down. Till next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children, continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing, too. Not be bored there. Get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.